One of the main reasons we bought this property had nothing to do with the house. If you've been here for a second, you probably know where this story is headed. Enough hardware to make us question our life choices. The pallets, enough of them to build a small village, show up on our driveway. One of the main reasons we bought this property had nothing to do with the house. It was all about the water, because we've always been boat people. We've owned plenty of boats over the years. We've rented them all around the world when we didn't have our own. We've trailered, we've launched, we've spent more than our fair share of time going to and from the landings. But this is the first time we've ever lived on the water. And we knew we wanted to keep the boat in the water, if not actually in the water, because no one has time for that kind of maintenance and the barnacles. So we did a lot of research. We went with a product called dock blocks, which is a really popular alternative to traditional boat lifts. Our rep told us that if we assembled it ourselves, it would save about $2,500. So if you've been here for a second, you probably know where this story is headed. A few weeks later, the pallets, enough of them to build a small village, show up on our driveway. The first lesson we learned: lay everything out on dry land first. We spent an entire rainy Saturday, John and me, assembling the layout in the driveway before moving anything to the dock. And thank goodness we did, because we realized we had gotten the configuration a little bit off, and fixing that mistake on the driveway is much easier. Fixing in the water would have been a really different story. Once we were confident everything was correct, it was time to move it all. And by all, I mean nearly 100 floating blocks, plus the joiners, fasteners, pulleys, enough hardware to make us question our life choices, 2 at a time. All the way around the house, all the way down the dock, and by the end of the day, the dock felt about a mile long. Sunday, though, brought sunshine, better moods, and reinforcements in the form of my dad. He's a little bit like a plant. Cold and rain make him wilt, but sunshine and warm weather bring him right back to life. Once everything was staged, we started assembling the center section, the part where the boat actually sits. That section gets launched first and maneuvered into position. Unfortunately, I don't have the video of that part, which is a shame because it involved ropes, a canoe, and a surprising amount of teamwork. Once the center section was floating in place, the rest of the dock came together so much faster. You assemble each row on the dock, you slide it into the water, and connect it to the previous section, repeating the process until the platform is complete. Final step is securing everything. In addition to attaching the dock to the existing dock, we installed 2 20-foot galvanized poles deep into the pluff mud to stabilize it. This is especially important when the boat loads onto the dock, because the whole system can try to kind of kick out sideways if it isn't properly anchored. Now, you might suspect we don't happen to own a pile driver, so luckily John found a great DIY solution that uses water from a garden hose to loosen that mud beneath the poles and help them sink deeper. Sounds a little questionable until you watch it work. With a bit of persistence, though, and some help from our friend Andy, who happened to show up, we ended up with roughly 10 feet of pole embedded in the mud and clay below. And now we have a floating dock that works beautifully. There's definitely a learning curve. We are still getting the hang of loading the boat perfectly every time, but it's absolutely worth it because the dock was never really the goal. The goal was just removing the friction. One of the biggest reasons we embraced multi-gen living and chose this particular property was the lifestyle that comes with living on the water. When your boat is 30 minutes away, boating becomes an event. When it's sitting at the end of your dock, it becomes part of your everyday life. A sunset picnic after work, a quick fishing trip for my dad, an evening spent shrimping, a lazy Saturday at a sandbar nearby with family and friends. That's what this project was really about, not the floating dock. Building easier access to the life we wanted when we moved here. And every time we untie the boat and head into the water, I am reminded why carrying all of those dock blocks in the rain was absolutely worth it.